All right, folks, so we're going to try this again. This is the third week in a row we'll be answering comments direct live on YouTube. I hope I'm not going to have to cut this time like I did last week, but it seems to be going well. I'm enjoying it. I think you guys are enjoying it. If you're not, let me know, and we'll quit doing it. It has been a little quiet on the channel this week in terms of views. I also hadn't got as many notifications. I don't think we've got as many comments this week, but we're going to dive in and see what we got, and I'm going to go in chronological order instead of reverse chronological order like I had been going. So first up, we got on the Bruce Springsteen Badlands reaction. This is from Steve308. Steve, we talked to Steve308 before. Steve says this song is basically Bruce. The live version is times 10. The verse of the sax, the studio version is okay, but the live version rocks. The lyrics on this rock. Poor man want to be rich, rich man want to be king, etc. Amazing. Yeah, absolutely. 100%. Love the lyrics, and I've loved everything that I've heard from Bruce live, and I intend on checking these out live, all of his stuff live. All right, Steve also says in a different comment, I just shared you on that there Twitter. Hope you get more traction on these vids. Thanks, Steve. I appreciate that so much. I'm going to reply direct Steve here. Let's see. Say fantastic. Thanks so much for taking your time to share. I appreciate you immensely. All right, let's see what we got. Okay, this is the old video. This is Hearing Buddy Rich. This is Barry Fry. Barry Fry says he was 65. Already had a lot of people confirm that. Yeah, Concert for the Americas was 1982, but he was born in 1917. On the Bruce, Prove It All Night. Actually, that other Steve comment was on a different Bruce video, wasn't it? Yeah, that was actually on Prove It All Night, not Badlands, that second comment. So this one's on Prove It All Night. This is from Scott Frederick. At this time, Miami Steve did lead work throughout songs, but Bruce... Do you mean Little Steve? Did lead work throughout songs, but Bruce does all the solos that are isolated. Just much easier to do rhythm guitar as a lead vocalist. Right, yeah, I can verify that for sure. Okay, this is on last week's answering your comments. This is from Wildcat 101. Huge fan of the channel. If you do a reaction to It Ain't Me, you'll see Jeff's reaction to Lane using an actual drum kit. Spoiler, it ain't happening. That's great. All right, Ellen Reiser, another great viewer, says, those curly tufts of hair sticking out over your ears are just adorable. Thank you, Ellen. I appreciate it. Look, you better enjoy them while you can, because probably next week or the week after I'm going to be trimming this up for spring and summer in Mississippi right now. Last week it was high 85. This morning it was 36. That's like a 50 degree swing. And I'm kind of regretting trimming my beard this weekend because I went walking yesterday and it was just it was brutal. This is also answering your comments from Nancy Holter. I did let Home Free know that many reactors have had issues with copyright problems and got a response that they were unaware, and we're going to look into it. Fantastic. They did fix one of the problems I reported, so I have some hope they might be able to crack the orchard over the head. Excellent. I'm going to respond direct to Nancy right here. Wow, thank you so much. This gives me hope. Fantastic. Maybe we can start getting some of these home free videos back up and start reacting to new songs that we haven't heard, that I haven't heard from home free. Okay, next we got, this is from the Chris Stapleton Star Spangled Banner reaction. This is Kimberly Ellis, and Kimberly says, this is my favorite rendition of our Star Spangled Banner. Chris made you feel every single word and brought patriotism and unity back to America, if only for a moment. Whitney Houston's version is my second favorite, but knowing that she lip-synced and Chris was live, he takes the cake and my heart. It was a great performance from Chris there. Absolutely love that. Pam Forrester, love Pam, great fan of the channel here. On answering your comments, Pam says, really enjoyed the live reaction. Still loving the beautiful background. Please keep up the good work. Thank you, Pam. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching. Veronica Thunder on answering your comments. Veronica, another great fan of the channel. Thank you for this. It is nice to hear you reply to all the comments. Thanks for watching, Veronica. I'm glad you enjoyed. This is another one from Veronica on Bruce Prove It All Night. Veronica says, I really like every song on this album. I bought this as an LP, yes, ages ago. So it had an A-side and B-side. The A-side was my favorite, concluding with Racing in the Street. I agree. I thought the A-side was stronger. But I may have liked Factory most of all the songs on this album. So the B-side was just as frequently played. When it comes to Prove It All Night, I love the verses. The chorus feels more mainstream to me, though. Yeah, I agree with that. Did you figure out which song it was with that drop, with only his voice and drums? I think there's such drops in both Badlands, Something Tonight, but I may not remember correctly. Somebody actually let me know this on Patreon, which one it was. I didn't go back and look. And now I've forgotten again. My brain is just shot these days. I'm getting old. But, yeah, it may have been Badlands. I just can't remember. Annette Corrado, another big fan of the channel, on answering your comments, says, thanks for reaching out to us. Absolutely, Annette. Thank you for watching, commenting, liking, subscribing, supporting us on Patreon. Whole works. Carol Burnett, another fan of the channel, on answering your comments, says, thanks for doing another of these, Cole. You just mentioned Tom Petty. It made me curious if you've ever listened to the Traveling Wilburys. I have some catching up to do on your reactions. I hope this weekend is calm enough for me to spend some time listening. I appreciate that, Carol. Elizabeth with Charismatic Voice has done a fairly extensive interview with Tim Foust. He talks about his own background and about how they ended up on the sing-off. I need to check that out. The only issue with checking out some of these interviews is if I'm not going to do a reaction to a YouTube video, it's hard for me to make the time to do it just because I got so much other stuff going on. But I really want to sit down and watch some of these interviews with these guys. But I also enjoy you guys in the comments letting me know things that you've seen and heard off of these interviews. But, Traveling Wilburys, yeah, absolutely. I never deep dove into their catalog. I checked them out because they have some of my favorite artists of all time in there. Roy Orbison, my number 2 favorite artist of all time behind John Fogerty. George Harrison, one of the Beatles. Beatles, one of probably my 3rd favorite artist behind Roy Orbison and John Fogerty. And I love George in particular. I love his songwriting. Tom Petty, I love Tom Petty stuff. Bob Dylan, another favorite artist. But every time in the past where I've said, okay, I'm going to go check out a Traveling Wilburys song, when I've listened to it, I thought, this is good, but it just doesn't hit me like the music of all those guys solo. So I don't know. Maybe it's time for me to go back and check them out. It's been a long time, so maybe this is the time. Racing 2 Cat, how's it going? This is another big fan of the channel, great viewer. And on answering comments, Cat says, as always, really great to hear the shout-outs, and I'm so glad you're getting such support and recognition. Are there other artist genres you're interested in doing catalog deep dives into? Yeah, 100%. Keep up the great content, Cole. Cat. And this is a PS here, and great recall, I am in Baton Rouge. Our weather's on par with yours. It's just too dang hot for this early in the year. Yeah, and now, I don't know if y'all have cooled off, but like I said, this morning it was 36 here in Jayess. But yeah, I'm definitely interested in doing other artists and genres. Somebody on Patreon mentioned Jason Isbell, who I heard a few songs from last year. It was more like a decade ago, last decade. And I really liked his stuff. I like that singer-songwriter vibe. I like southern rock. I like country rock. The only issue is I know a lot of artists in that vein. A couple of Bruce-ish artists that I really would like to take a deep dive into is Bob Seger. And we mentioned Tom Petty. I actually don't know a lot of Tom Petty album cuts. I know all the hits and a couple of album cuts, but I really like to take a deep dive into Tom Petty stuff. Also, I'm considering doing Metallica because I actually just filmed a reaction to the original version of Nothing Else Matters. And it's unfortunately blocked right now on... Actually, it's not blocked. It's just demonetized. And we're holding it until we've gone through the appeal process. If the appeal process clears, we'll put that up. But I listened to that, and it was nothing like the Metallica that I have in my head. Whenever somebody says Metallica, I really dug it. I wouldn't be opposed necessarily diving into Metallica, at least some of their hits that I don't necessarily know. On The Hound and the Fox, featuring Adam Chance, Sound of Silence, Karen Feichner, if I'm not pronouncing that name correctly, I apologize, says, I just love this trio of performers together. Everything they do is good. Chance is a great singer by himself, and he blends so well this pair. Agree 100%. Okay, so I did have to cut. I ended up doing a full 32-minute response to the 40-whatever comments we had on here. And I went back to watch it, and there's like a 10-minute section there where the screen was frozen, and I didn't realize it, and it unfroze. So I'm going to go back. I've already seen these comments now, so it won't be a first time reading, but I'm going to go back and re-respond to the ones that I responded to and the screen froze. So I was on, the screen froze whenever I was on Pam Forrester once again. I think we'd already had her once on here, maybe twice. This is on Hound the Fox featuring Adam Chance. Pam says, I do love this song. It's been done many times, but I like this a lot. They actually kept the tempo perfect for the song. Wonderful voices. Had not heard this one before, and I'm hoping to hear more solo. Avi and Pentatonics. Us Pentaholics start to get jittery without our fix of singing perfection. Hey. Also, have you considered doing a video of Amy Winehouse? I still say Falling Down Drunk or Not, still better than most today. On a final note, love that you're keeping the variety on here. No Groundhog Day channel for you. As always, thank you for the video and commentary. You do it right, sir. And I'm glad I redid this because I actually forgot to respond to the last part of this comment whenever in my response on the previous take here. As far as first of all, Pam, once again, thank you so much. As far as the Avi, I actually filmed a full-length reaction to Avi's debut solo EP that he released under Avriel and the Sequoias, Sage and Stone, I believe it's called. Yeah. And I pulled 2 tracks off of there, uploaded them to YouTube, and when they got uploaded, we found out that they're managed by STEM Distributions, and STEM actually was also the content manager for Home Free's Old Lang Syne video that they demonetized and rejected our fair use claim. So right now I've got 2 Avi solo reactions sitting on YouTube, set to private. In the dispute process, if they reject our fair use claim, I will appeal it, and then if they reject the appeal, then we won't be able to put it up, and it'll just be on Patreon. That's where we're with that. I also hope to get to the Pentatonics. I actually think the next thing I'm going to do is rewatch the Sing-Off Season 3 because it's been so long. It's been over 10 years since I originally watched that. I don't even remember their performances. So it would be like a first-time reaction for me in a lot of ways. I think I'm going to do that, put the whole thing on Patreon, and then pull the Pentatonics performance off and put on YouTube. But yeah, so stay tuned to the channel and hope to have some more of that stuff. As far as Amy Winehouse, whenever Amy was big, I felt like that she was a throwback sound, and I liked that a lot, but at the same time, she didn't hit me like a lot of other artists did at the time, and I didn't really get into her. This would be a really good time for that. Send me your favorite Amy Winehouse songs in the comments, and I'm glad I redid this because I forgot to say that in the previous video. Carol Burnett, thanks, Cole. I still think my favorite by this trio is an original, or The Whistling Lad. Thank you, Carol. Carol's another big viewer of the channel. I'm not sure if we had seen her before. I'm just remembering from when we had seen this in the previous video. I've got to do something better on this camera. I may have to switch cameras and not do it on the laptop. I don't know, but we're still rolling right now, it looks like. Anyway, yeah, we've got a lot of people that actually recommended The Whistling Lad. Nancy Holter on Hound the Fox said that she hated the Disturbed cover, but this was a wonderful cover. There's one by Peter and Tim, and I've got a lot of people mention the Peter and Tim, and I'm not sure if I've said this yet, or I'll say it again when I splice the videos together. This is weird. I may go ahead and watch that tomorrow because I usually record 3 reactions, individual reactions, and I've only got 2 picked out, so this might be a third one to do. Stacy Smith on Hound the Fox said they only did 2 songs there. They just turned around both. Then it didn't matter which one you watched first, I assume. Gotcha. Karina Rodebach. Karina, huge viewer of the channel. Great viewer. Says on Hound the Fox, what a night. Jeff released his version of this song 2 hours ago. As I listened to this, the versions couldn't be more different, and I will not put one over the other. Can't wait to hear that. I think I've already said this. I'm going to try to film that tomorrow. MJ Duffy says my favorite trio on Hound the Fox. Yeah, they're great. Ed Ellis on our Old Buddy Rich video says, the greatest, saw him 18 times. That is incredible. Wish I could have done that myself. Ronnie Boyd on Hound the Fox says, just love this trio. I'm glad you like them too. Yeah, Ronnie, they're great. M. Jackson says they did a fantastic cover of Hurt, Hound the Fox and Adam Chance, and I cannot wait to hear that. I love the Johnny Cash version of that song. I like the song overall, but I like the Johnny Cash version better than the original 9 Inch Nails. Jay Heron says, love your reaction to stunning music. Thank you so much, Jay. Yes, you have to hear the talent of Hound Fox plus Chance with the Whistling Lad. There's the Whistling Lad, yeah. They have the whole package with this original, and you must react to Adam Chance's brainchild of the cover to Trace Adkins' I Can't Outrun You with Home Free, doing the BVIs masterfully. I'm not sure if BVIs is something, I'm not sure what the abbreviation is, or it's supposed to be BGVs, like background vocals. But, yeah, I don't know a lot of Trace Adkins' catalog, but I will hope to check that one out. And make sure we're still rolling here. Don't want to freeze up again. C. Mitchell, another great viewer of the channel, says, on Hound the Fox, these three have a lightness and fragility to their harmonies, which gives them such unique quality, pulls the listener in, literally and figuratively, wanting to experience all the subtleties compared to perhaps Peter, Paul, and Mary, who had a stronger, more intense harmonic style. Peter, Paul, and Mary, one wants to sing along in full voice. With Hound the Fox and Chance, one is more apt. Hound the Fox, Tim Powell, I think that's what the TF stands for. One is more apt to just listen or mouth along. Great stuff. That was a really, really good analogy, see, with Peter, Paul, and Mary. Brenda Sorensen, Brenda, another regular viewer of the channel, great viewer, says, love this version on Hound the Fox. Donna Spalding on Chris Stapleton, Star Spangled Banner, says, I was raised in Eastern Kentucky just like him. I'm now in Fayetteville, North Carolina, right outside of Fort Bragg. That's great. Thanks for sharing that. Donna Moskowitz, who I believe is also a regular viewer of the channel, and if I mispronounced that, Donna, I apologize, says on Hound the Fox, hi Cole, had no idea you know the reaction channels are under so much pressure. Thank you for sharing that and this post. Love from Texas. Yeah, there's so much legal gray area, and thanks for watching, Donna, appreciate it. There's so much gray area in the fair use laws of the United States that it is possible that every reaction video online is technically illegal, and even if it's not illegal, if somebody tells us we have to take it down, we don't really have any recourse to fight that because we just don't have the resources to do it. So one of these days, something may happen that every reaction video on YouTube may have to be taken down, and this channel will be done. At least this series will. But and this is why I think that eventually there'll either be legislation or more than likely litigation that will cause some kind of change in the United States copyright definition of fair use. Petty Raddick, if I mispronounced that, my apologies, says on the Chris Stapleton Star Spangled Banner, it was absolutely the very best rendition of Star Spangled Banner ever. Yeah, I loved it. This is Donna Moskowitz again on the Adam Chance Wayfaring Stranger video, says, I want this version played at my funeral. The Fox and the Hound. Hello. Yeah, I think I accidentally called the Fox and Hound. I said in the video, if I just called the Fox and Hound, I apologize. That's I grew up on that movie. LOL, I still have that movie on VHS. Yeah, I'm wondering if they had to change the name to Hound and Fox for legal reasons. Very well could be. Great reaction, Cole, as always. Love from Texas. Thank you once again, Don. Appreciate that. Okay, so I'm now caught back up, and we're going to jump back into the original video I recorded where I was responding to the comments off the cuff and had not read them before. Sorry about that, and I'll do better next time. Dagmar S., another viewer of the channel, on Sound of Silence, Hound and Fox with Adam Chance, says, I grew up listening to this song by Simon and Garfunkel back in the 60s and had always loved it. It's been covered by hundreds of artists. This one was a very beautiful cover of the song by the Hound and Fox with Chance. Peter Hollins and Tim Powell also do a great version of the song. Yeah, I hope to react to that. I might actually, I need one more to do tomorrow. I may do that one. On Hound, this is another one on Hound the Fox, Adam Chance, Sound of Silence. First of Fire, I believe I'm pronouncing that correctly, says, spot on, bro. Also, your beard is amazing. Hi, Viking Brothers. Yeah, it was. I've now trimmed it down. It was getting a little too unwieldy. I was having trouble eating this weekend. I was like, this is, got to trim it off. Actually, I normally just shave it completely off this time of year, but it got so cold this week that I want to leave a little bit on there, and I may shave all this off when it warms up. I'm not sure. This is from Versifier again. This is on Bruce, Prove It All Night. Bruce is the greatest of all time, man. P.S. Sorry for being a fanboy. You just have a dope taste in music. I appreciate that, man. No need to apologize for that. I need all the fans I can get. Grace Parker, Grace, another regular viewer of the channel. Hound the Fox on Sound of Silence says, keep at it, Cole, because you're doing fantastic. Thank you, Grace. I appreciate that. Be the catalyst for the change, because as far as I can tell, you're the only reaction channel I know of that is having this issue with home free reaction videos, and I am hooked up to a lot of them, as so many of us home fries are. That's interesting, because I thought a couple of people told me that they had heard other reactors having issues. So far as I can tell, they are singling you out for some reason. I'm connected to at least 30 other channels that post, if not more. I'm with you on this. Wow, that's a surprise. The first time I'm hearing this. I'm hoping maybe, I think what I'm going to do, the ones that they demonetized and we took down, they're still out there. They're just unpublished. I can still see them on my end, but nobody else can see them. I'm thinking about taking one of them, maybe the list in the music cover, and appealing it. The Orchard has 7 days to appeal. To respond to the appeal. And if they do respond and release it, we're clear. If they respond and don't release it, we'll get a takedown notice, and if we don't take it down, we'll get a copyright strike, and if they ignore it, we also win. So I may just go ahead and do it, see what happens. I've been avoiding doing this because I really didn't want to get in a war, and I didn't want to risk getting a copyright strike, but I think I'm just going to do it and see what happens here. Dot Wyness, W-Y-N-E-S-S, if I mispronounced that last name, I apologize. On the Hound the Fox says, I'm loving all the different versions of this song. Could you do a reaction to Tom Ball's version? Okay, I'm not sure who Tom Ball is. I'll check him out. He has a video of the whole song. As on AGT, the song was a lot shorter to fit the time limit. Okay, I'll check Tom Ball out. Denise Landry, another regular viewer of the channel, says on the Hound the Fox, what is up with YouTube lately? I've been missing notifications. It took 20 hours for this to hit my suggested videos. Yeah, YouTube is just awful about stuff. We actually got the content manager or rights owner actually for Metallica, Nothing Else Matters, actually rejected our fair use claim within like 24 hours, and we never got any notification on it. And I just so happened to realize that it had been demonetized before the video dropped, and was able to not put it up. And we get comments all the time. We get no notifications. I'm subscribed to channels with the bell on. I get no notifications on them. I don't know. It's crazy. That's ridiculous. Yeah, absolutely. I absolutely love this version of the song. Their voices are magical together. Thanks, Cole. Love your reactions. Thank you, Denise. Appreciate you watching. KMW Wrench, who is another regular viewer of the channel on the Hound the Fox with Adam Chance, says, this is a nice cover, but nothing replaces the original for me. The original, it's hard to top the original of anything for me. There are some covers that I like better than the original, but usually the original is where it's at. I don't really get the adulation for Disturbed's cover, which I thought was terrible. That's funny. I know a lot of people don't like it. I liked it. I didn't think it was better than the original, but I did think from a technical vocal perspective, which you may have had a little auto-tune on there. I'm not sure. I hadn't listened to it that closely to analyze the vocals. From a technical vocal perspective, it was really impressive, and I did like the arrangement and the production on it. One cover that I do enjoy is the one from Peter Hollins. Tim Faust, there's that one again. Beautiful harmonies, as you expect, and it pays great homage to the original. I'm leaning more and more about recording that one tomorrow. Maria Williams on first time hearing Avi Kaplan solo. This is a few weeks old. Maria Williams says, what a great reaction. Thank you couldn't subscribe quick enough. Thank you, Maria. Hope to hear more Avi solo music. I hope I can get it up. Right now we're waiting on a couple of those songs to clear. Alona Dever says, Alona, another big fan of the channel, regular viewer, on voice play, sing off, don't speak, says another reason I don't like what happened to them during the sing off. Requiring them to add a female lead was setting them up for failure. No wonder they have chosen complete independence and complete creative control. Yeah, and again, this is nothing against Honey. I think she has some chops. She's really, really good, but she just really didn't fit with the group, and I feel like they would have done a lot better on the competition if they'd have been allowed to be themselves, as we have seen what they can do if they're allowed to do that. Annette Corrado, Annette again, on the voice play Don't Speak, says, thanks for your reaction. Yes, I thought they were off in the beginning with harmony and timing, but it did get better. I really think they would have done much better if Rachel was with them as they had planned. I agree. They just don't connect with Honey as well as she is the dominant lead, with voice play as her backup singers. You probably noticed that one of the groups competing was 10, and their singer, Imani Wilkins, ended up singing with voice play on the sing-off tour after Honey finished with the competition. Interesting. I really like Imani Wilkins. That's how you pronounce that, right? I can't remember. But yeah, 10's one of my favorite groups from this season. I'm doing the whole episode reaction on Patreon, and 10 has been one of my favorite groups. Imani was much better with voice play and became good friends with voice play since that tour. Imani has been featured in a few voice play covers and has also been an actress in a few episodes of Patty Cake Productions' Villains Lair. Nice. Thank you for that information, Ed. This is why I love the comment section on here. Pam, there's Pam again on Voice Play Don't Speak. This is new to me, the song anyway. They seem to be very comfortable with it and have fun. Love the change up midway. Seem to me to get their footing. As always, thanks for being company. Thank you, Pam. Yeah, as far as the song, this was a No Doubt song, Gwen Stefani's band. I'm not a huge fan of the song or the group personally, but I did think overall Voice Play did a really good job. Veronica says on Voice Play Don't Speak, I thought they were a little off in the beginning too, but they found each other pretty quickly. Ellie's little solo run is beautiful. Absolutely, totally agree. DTA says, we don't normally do emotional songs. Ha ha ha. How times change. 100%. Yeah, that's what they said in the video, and now that's what they're known for, is their emotional songs. This is Melody Malone. Melody has also commented before on our video, says, this is on Voice Play Don't Speak. I think voice play is better when they are not just one lead singer. Hear the girl with different parts singing by different singers. 100%. Michelle Nassimben, Nascimben. If I murder that, Michael. I just completely blew that name. Sorry, Michael. Michael, Nascimben. If there's a cat in the shot, my apologies. Wash it. Thanks, Mike. Appreciate it. You really have to listen to the live version of this from the 1978 tour. This is Bruce, Prove It All Night. Any version, they're all epic. Yeah, I intend to do that. I want to try to get through all the studio stuff first. This is the Agent Elvis reaction, which actually we did not get a lot of views on this one. Did not seem to strike a chord. We're trying something a little different, doing a trailer reaction to a music-related thing. This is Ellen Reiser. Ellen, again, great viewer of the channel, regular viewer, says, not sure this is my jam. Yeah, I was not a fan. If you want something different, I recommend Villains Lair from Patty Cake Productions. They do voice play videos. Also, have you seen Darcy Lynn's audition on America's Got Talent? If not, it is totally worth a watch. Okay, that's a new suggestion. I've checked that out. 12-Year-Old Ventriloquist. Lastly, The Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald by Gordon Lightfoot. I know the title. I don't think I've ever listened to it, but watch the version that has all the photos and history on screen during the song. Ellen, this is fantastic suggestion. Thank you so much. And yeah, I agree that Agent Elvis trailer was not my jam. Pam, also on Agent Elvis trailer, says, this looked fun, interesting, took me a minute to get the story, didn't know what to expect. You do like surprises. Yeah, I didn't either. I wasn't 100% sure, and it was something now. I'm not completely sold on it. On the Chris Stapleton video, Doom Buggy says, he is blues. I like that. Him and Buddy Guy doing a song together would make my brain explode like the guy in the Clayton Bigsby sketch on Chappelle Show. I've never seen that skit, but I get the sentiment. Yeah, he is blues. That's great. I would love to see him and Buddy Guy. It'd be great. Marsha Young, another regular viewer of the channel, says on the Voice Play Don't Speak, I don't know where they dug her up, but she was horrible. She ruined any chance of them to move ahead. Of course, it was already pre-planned by the judges for them to fail. Yeah, that's what it seems like to me. And I think they explained on the first episode that they actually all work together. I may have misunderstood that, but I think that's what I got from that. I think she's got talent. I just don't think that she grooves with them. I really don't. All right, so we're all the way caught up to yesterday's video, which was Roger Miller, The Day I Jumped from Uncle Harvey's Plane. And Dagmar S., another regular viewer of the channel, says, Roger Miller did a lot of country-style novelty songs in the 60s and had a lot of hits such as King of the Road, Damie, Chug-a-Lug, Do-Wacka-Do, You Can't Roll Skate, Buffalo Herd, Engine Number 9, England Swings, etc. He also wrote and performed several of the songs on the 1973 animated film Robin Hood. Yeah, such as Oodalala. Yeah, I don't know. I think I said this in the video. I'm a huge Roger Miller fan. I just didn't particularly know. I didn't know this song. His hits, I can sing you every word to him. Absolutely love Roger Miller. He's a genius songwriter. Super funny. And I think I said this in the reaction. I like his Engine Number 9 is actually a little bit more serious song. And then when you get to a song like Husbands and Wives or When Worlds Collide, or maybe it's just, I think When Worlds Collide, not just Worlds Collide. Really serious stuff. Really, I told somebody on Patreon yesterday, Husbands and Wives is melancholy and poignant, which is just totally opposite from what Roger Miller is known for. And I've read that he actually was frustrated that people didn't appreciate his serious stuff and expected him to just write comedy all the time. And this is Donna again on the Roger Miller video. Says, "Wow, love Roger Miller, love from Texas. Thank you, Donna." Yeah, I do too. Roger Miller is just hilarious. He reminds me, he's not exactly like Ray Stevens. Ray Stevens is just straight up parody and comedy. Roger is serious about the music, but a lot of his lyrics are just funny and just humorous. Pam on the Roger Miller said, "This was a hoot. Never heard this before either. Thanks to whoever requested and you for playing." Yeah, I think it was Tammy. I can't remember the last name. We need more songs like this. Total fun as always. Thank you for the video and commentary. Thank you, Pam. Appreciate you continuing to support the channel and comment too, because the comments just help the algorithm so much. Margaret Scott. Yes, Margaret. Another excellent viewer from the channel. Also a supporter on Patreon. Says, "Brilliant. I grew up," this is on Roger Miller, "I grew up listening to Roger Miller. My mother loved his music. Thanks for a review of this piece. I do not remember it, but found it very funny. When I lived in far northern California, I was introduced to the music of Dave Stamey, a cowboy poet. One of my favorites is Bubba and the Goat. It's a great story song and reminds me very much of Roger Miller." I'll have to check that out. You might enjoy Bubba and the Goat. You got the link there. Excellent. Thank you, Margaret. I might do a reaction to that one. We'll see. And this is the last comment. This is on Chris Stapleton's Star Spangled Banners from John Montgomery. "Trust me, Chris Stapleton, fool me again, and Whiskey and You." Yeah, I know Whiskey and You. That is a fantastic song. Love that. That was from the Traveler album. I'm not sure if Fool Me Again was on Traveler. I heard it. It's just not ringing the bell. Cold, I was wrong. All these are soulful like only Chris does it. I hope to next week film a reaction to his last album. I can't think the name of it right now. Complete album. I'm going to pull a couple of songs off there, put on YouTube. I hope, if we don't get in trouble with the copyright stuff, and I'll have the full reaction on Patreon. And I really would like to dig in this catalog, and I may also re-listen to Traveler, because it's been, that was 2015. Yeah, so we're 8 years here since I listened to that. It's been a while, and I haven't heard a lot of those songs off of there since that time, other than Tennessee Whiskey. So, yeah, I hope to be featuring more Chris Stapleton on the channel, particularly since it's on its way to becoming one of our most watched videos ever. We're almost at 5,000 views right now, and it's only been out, what, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. But, yeah. All right, folks. Thank y'all so much once again for watching, liking, subscribing, commenting, clicking the bell for notifications, supporting us on Patreon. We appreciate it so much. If y'all weren't watching this, we would have had to quit months ago, and this would have just been a little fun time passer for last fall for us, but y'all have continued to support the channel, and that's why we're still here, and we just appreciate you so much, and hope everybody has a good week. We've got a home free from the sing-off coming up tomorrow. Next week, we'll have, I think, one more voice play from the sing-off, another home free, several other things coming up, so stay tuned, and we'll see you soon.